Yehovah Eloheinu Svaot, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Numbers chapter 33. These are the stages in the journey of the people of Israel as they left the land of Egypt, divided into their groups under the leadership of Moshe and Aaron. Moshe recorded each of the stages of their journey by order of Yehovah. Here are the starting points of each stage. They began their journey from Ramses in the first month, on the 14th day of the first month, the morning after Pesach. The people of Israel left proudly in view of all the Egyptians, while the Egyptians were burying those among them whom Yehovah had killed, all their firstborn. Yehovah had also executed judgment on their gods. The people of Israel moved on from Ramses and camped at Sukkot. They moved on from Sukkot and camped at Etam, by the edge of the desert. They moved on from Etam and turned back to Pi Hacharot, in front of Baal Svan, and camped before Migdol. They moved on from Pnei Hechrot and passed through the sea of the desert, continued 3 days' journey into the Etam desert, and camped at Marah. They moved from Marah and came to Elam. In Elam were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, so they camped there. They moved on from Elam and camped at the Sea of Sulph. They moved on from the Sea of Sulph and camped in the Sin desert. They moved on from the Sin desert and camped at Dophkah. They moved on from Dophkah and camped in Elush. They moved on from Elush and camped at Rephidim. There was no water for the people to drink. They moved on from Rephidim and camped in the Sinai desert. They moved on from there in the Sinai desert and camped at Kivrot Hatavia. They moved on from Kivrot Hata'ava and moved in Hasrot. They moved on from Hasrot and camped at Ritma. They moved on from Ritma and camped at Ramon Peretz. They moved on from Ramon Peretz and camped at Libnah. They moved on from Libnah and camped at Rissah. They moved on from Rissah and camped at Kila. They moved on from Kila and camped at Mount Shepher. They moved on from Mount Shepher and camped at Harada. They moved on from Harada and camped at Mechlot. They moved on from Mechlot and camped at Techat. They moved on from Techat and camped at Terach. They moved on from Terach and camped at Mitka. They moved on from Mitka and camped at Ha-Shemnah. They moved on from Ha-Shemnah and camped at Meserot. They moved on from Meserot and camped at Beni Yaakan. They moved on from Beni Yaakan and camped at Hor Haggadag. They moved on from Hor Haggadag and camped at Yotva. They moved on from Yotva and camped at Avrona. They moved on from Avrona and camped at Etzon Gevir. They moved on from Etzon Gevir and camped at Zin Desert, that is, Kadesh. They moved on from Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor, at the border, the land of Edom. At Yehovah's order, Aaron the Kohen went up on Mount Hor and died there on the first day of the first month of the 14th year the people of Israel had left the land of Egypt. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. Then the Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the Negev, in the land of the Canaan, had heard that the people of Israel were coming. So they moved on from Mount Hor and camped at Zilmanah. They moved on from Zilmanah and camped at Punan. They moved on from Punan and camped at Avot. They moved on from Avot and camped at Eve Ha'arim, by the border of Moab. They moved on from Ayim and camped at Divon Gad. They moved on from Divon Gad and camped at Elmon Davlatayim. They moved on from Elam Davalayim and camped at the Avrim range in front of Nevo. They moved on from Avrim range and camped at the plains of Moab by the Yarden, across from Jericho. They camped by the Yarden, extended from Beet Hayishmot all the way to Avel Hashatim in the plains of Moab. Yehova spoke to Moshe in the plains of Moab by the Yarden, across from Jericho. He said, "To the people of Israel, when you cross the Yarden into the land of the Canaan, you are to expel all the people in the land from in front of you. Destroy all their stone figures, destroy all their metal statues, and demolish all their high places. Drive out the inhabitants of the land and live in it. For I have given you the land to possess. You inherit the land by lot according to your families. You are to give more land to the larger families and less to the smaller families. Whoever the lot falls to any particular person, that will be his property. You will inherit according to the tribes of your ancestors. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from in front of you, then those you allow to remain will become like thorns in your eyes and stings in your sides. They will harass you in the land where you're living. And at this event, I will do to you what I intended to do to them." How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this exciting Numbers chapter 33? We can know that Yehova records 42 geographical markers and 12 stops from their starting point of Ramses to their final encampment at the Yarden, Jordan. Know that this trip is divided into 3 sections. The path of Exodus includes 12 stops from Ramses to the Sinai Desert, 21 stops from the Sinai to Kadesh, and 9 stops from Kadesh to Moab. Trust that Yehova Eliftav was with the children of Israel the entire way. Know that a huge warning was given by Yehova to the children of Israel. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can share with all that Yehova is always with us even when we fail, and is there when we choose to obey. Bear one another's burdens. We can choose to obey the written words of Yehova. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. In this Friday night Shabbat, with the Aaronic blessing, using the name, Yehova will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with the hedge of protection. Yehova will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehova will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Yavirachacha Yehova, Vayishmaricha Yair. Yehova panav elecha, vechonicha yisa. Yehova panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. May Yehova bless you and keep you. May Yehova make his face shine on you and show you his favor. May Yehova lift up his face toward you and give you peace. Shabbat shalom.